Hi everybody, Dakazu here. I'm joined by Darfox8
Yo.
and our friend Rush.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about Million Tag Episode 5. So we have just completed Episode 4, which completed the second challenge. And now we're going to be getting into the third challenge in Episode 5. I believe we are going to be following the top 3 teams from the last challenge. But as usual, you want to have Episode 5 of Million Tag queued up. And I'll do a countdown. When I countdown reaches the end and I say go, just hit play on Episode 5 of Million Tag. And our commentary track should match up so I can do live translation and we can add our commentary. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh no, 4 days? They gotta rewrite stuff? The tag that's gonna have a fallout? Oh no, human relationships fall apart in a moment? And Yuji Kaku, the creator of Hell's Paradise Jikakuraku, will make an appearance. And here we go, Episode 5, Million Tag. The first challenge was a 4-page manga. Second challenge is storyboards and character illustration. The third challenge will now be... These guys are announcing it right now. Oh, it's the same as the second challenge. Storyboard and character illustrations. Oh, but there's an added addendum. They pick the theme, and they have limited pages. Oh, the theme is ability battles. So we're talking like One Piece, Ryan, your favorite.
Heck yeah.
My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen. They have to make 55-page storyboard, and they have 3 weeks to do it.
Wow. Sounds kind of intense.
We're getting into our third challenge here. Yep. It has to be characters with abilities. Oh. They're talking about which manga do they like that's about abilities. He's saying Hero Academia. She's saying thank you because she plays, Ochako Uraraka. He's like, Hero Academia is pretty good. So on this episode, we'll be following the 3 tag teams that placed 1 to 3rd in the last challenge. Oh, she's concerned, like, the female artist, female editor, they don't have, like, experience writing any battle manga. Mr. Negative might be able to come up with something that involves with more emotions. But Fetish Cat is very not prepared for battle manga, so we'll see what happens with these 3 pairs. Oh, she's gonna give some encouragement. Oh, that's right from My Hero Academia. Okay, yeah. How will the 3 tag teams who placed in last challenge, what type of battle manga will they come up with? First, we're focusing on the female editor and female manga artist team. Oh, the female editor does not have experience with battle manga. They're discussing how, like, they got a lot of things they gotta figure out. They got a lot of pressure because they both don't have that much experience. The editor's saying we gotta figure out, like, the through line of the story and really kind of follow that through. Apparently, even though she placed second in that last challenge, the commentary was that the final like coda of that story wasn't that impressive. It was kind of like subdued, normal. So they want like a big punch ending to their story. Oh, interesting. She wants to do a story about people able to travel between the world of the living and the dead. Twins that can do this. They battle enemies while they go to meet their grandma. All about family love. But the editor says, like, maybe this is a little complex. She's done so many slice of life manga, manga about everyday life. She's having a difficult time thinking about like outside that box. This female editor is saying like, I want to make sure that when you look at this story, it's the first impression is, wow, this is something I haven't seen before. So maybe that first idea about the twins going through like living and dead world is not like, doesn't have enough impact. They got 18 days left. And they're still going through like the prototype of how the story is going to be. 16 days left. They have swords. If they both have swords, that won't really work. It's not really, it's a little lacking. Each character should have their own thing, that'd be more interesting. And how it's going to change once they start like paneling it out. She's saying, even if I'm not totally sure, like I should at least panel it out. Oh no, but they still can't get the story finalized, so they can't get the storyboard going. Now we're on to Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative is like, I've done nothing. Everybody else is doing work. But all I'm doing is watching movies. They're like, what's he doing? He's watching movies, reading novels. He's trying to input like more skills and more ideas, just doing stuff. He's got 3 weeks left. Look at his mess. Will he be able to make a comeback? Oh, he's saying like this theme is really not for me, so I think my editor is gonna think, wow, this guy really is not suited for battle manga. Okay, Hitmaker editor is saying, making storyboards is kind of a trial and error process where you have to find out what they're good at. So even if they make a storyboard that like, oh wow, they can't really do this, like a battle manga, we're learning more about the manga artist and they're learning more about themselves, what they're good at. So even if this is a failure, they can still make it happen. And Mr. Negative is saying, even if I can do this theme, it's going to take me a lot of time. They're all commenting on like, once he gets started, he writes it really fast. So moving on to Fetish Cat and her editor. Oh, the editor is straight up saying, I don't think we can win this challenge. Fetish Cat has no experience writing battle manga. So the editor, because the final goal is to win the 4th challenge, the grand prize. So instead of trying to win this challenge, there's a character that they want to put out in the 4th challenge. And they're saying, why don't we just use this 3rd challenge to try out this character, make them seem really appealing, and then we'll make the judges really be like, oh, I want to see more of this character, and then they'll put that character in the last challenge. So use this as a stepping stone into the final challenge. Man, the editor is really like, that's the guy who said like editing is like a professional job. He really thinks like, professionally in that way. That's interesting. Okay, a week after the challenge was announced, Fetish Cat has made a prototype. It's a story in post-apocalypse. There's an alien who can change her body into weapons. A guy whose mom was killed by aliens. They're kind of finalizing the story and fixing the storyboard. We're talking about a scene where the guy is with his mom and gets separated, and like how we can like set up the paneling to like make it more understandable and like relatable to the reader. Really to the like the feeling of like the guy being separated from his mom. Like he's crying, like the mom is there and he's crying. Instead of doing it in this 4-panel, he asks her to fix it. So there's a panel there with like a sad face where like he's recalling like that thing that happened in the past. Just this little panel kind of gets that emotion across. Okay, she's praising her, said it was a good story. So, but there is a problem. They don't agree on this. Oh no. Okay, so in these battle mangas, you have people using like, super moves and they yelled it. Like Rasengan or Gear Second. Fetish Cat is like, I don't like coming up with like super move names. And so the editor is pushing for her to make super moves names, and she is like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I can't come up with it. So now these two are having a battle over like super move names. Are we going to do them or are we not? Oh, look, she's saying no, no, no. The editor's saying like he doesn't have to say it. It could just be on the page, but I think we should add them, And she's just like, no, no. Oh, she's like, I don't want to do this. This sucks. She's also saying that she's having a hard time because this theme is not for her. And the storyboard in the story she came up is more like comical anyway. And she's even saying like, I don't know what this editor is saying. I don't understand. I feel like they're playing this up a little bit. And they're saying like human relationships fall apart in an instant. Oh. So Jump Plus has prepared a special occasion to help all these tag teams and manga artists. They're happy because they get to go meet Yuji Kaku, the manga artist behind Hell's Paradise Jigokuraku. That's a really good manga. Everyone should go read that, by the way. It's really great. It's got an anime coming out soon. It's a great battle action manga. So they're splitting them up in 2 groups, and they're gonna let them ask questions. Oh, female manga artist, she has a question that she wants to ask because the female team can't pick their story. She wants to ask like, how do you come up with your like ideas and okay, he's saying like, you ultimately you got to make it by yourself, the story or whatever, but as long as you're having a good time, it's something you want to do, start with that feeling. That's important. And that will be like the best for you, will lead for the best success for you. Okay, now for Fetish Cat, who's having a disagreement with her editor. She's asking, do you try and just do your thing, or do you try and do something that that's going to hit with like the young readers? Oh, he's making a reference to Berserk. But he's saying like, it's better to go with this is something that I think is awesome, and I'm just gonna explain it to you so you guys can enjoy why it's so awesome. So it's like you, Dark Fox, and your Jackie Chan love. Let you explain it to people. Okay, Mr. Negative is still watching movies. He's like asking about like, how do you like know when you've had enough ideas? Yuji Kaku is saying like you have to do some output as well. So keep writing, do input, write, and just like keep doing it until you kind of find the groove that you need to find. And that's what they're saying. Like all manga artists, people want to become artists and listen to that advice. Oh, so he's gonna give the ultimate advice for writing battle manga. Okay, he wants to focus on readability. You have to understand what the characters are doing, what the motivations are. Make sure that's really easy to understand, or people won't be able to follow along with a battle. That's his best advice for doing battle manga. Now we got a week before the deadline. Mr. Negative, he's taking what he inputted and outputting it back out. All he said was, "I really hope my editor doesn't look at this and like is disappointed." the female team, you know, that first idea they came up with, the twins going back and forth, they completely discarded the idea, and now their idea is magical girl. And also, you know, just because she was placed well in the last challenge, she wants to keep pushing herself to come up with better new ideas. Something that will like really represent like characters and their feelings, that what she wants to draw. So what she wants to draw now is a young man who can read people's thoughts and a magical girl that's kind of a klutz, and they team up and fight together. Gonna be about that female editor is saying like there's a lot of monologue here, so let's kind of cut those out and just do it through like the art instead. There's a monologue with like the young man who can read emotions. Instead of putting it in like 4 panels like this, they changed it to the right, where it's like all the thoughts are kind of bleeding into a single page, right? How like all those thoughts are like hurting him. More visual representing it. A visual representation of it. Yeah, she really wanted to represent how someone who can read the minds of others, like all the thoughts of people around him, will kind of like be so invasive to seeing that. She's really satisfied with her character design of the magical girl. And that really helped push that story through some more. The editor is saying, you know, that the previous idea about the twins, that was probably like important to her in some way, but it's better to push past that and come up with an idea that works for her. Now back to Fetish Cat and the editor. He's like, are these still at it? Okay, Fetish Cat just feels like really limited by superhero names. So the editor is like, you know what? All right, let's drop it. Just focus on like the art when they're doing like a super move. Just make it really dynamic and interesting. And Fetish Cat is like, I really, really didn't want to do super move names, so I'm so relieved. They're saying, you know, we should be able to push past without super move names, just based on like the world building that she's done. And if you force like manga artists to do something they don't want to do, it goes through like in the art. So it's better to let them do what they want to do. Oh wow, female artist, female editor. The female artist, before she started Million Tags, she couldn't come up with storyboards and thumbnails. So like she's really like happy with like the results. She really feels like she's kind of learned that skill doing this competition. Oh, now we get to see the advantage that Mr. Negative got for winning Last Challenge. Oh, he got to ask questions directly to the writer of Spy Family. Tatsuya Endo directly answered Mr. Negative's questions for advice. Oh, he wrote it in a letter. That's so nice. The question was, what do you think, how do you make it more readable? And Spy Family guy's response is, I just cut as much dialogue as possible. Sometimes I make it into like simple language. And he also asked, how much input do you do? And Mr. Endo actually watches like 7 to 9 variety television shows every week for ideas. Japanese people love the variety TV show. Oh! Because he won the last challenge, he got one item to help him. Mr. Negative, who was using a flip phone, got a smartphone finally. That's nice. Oh yeah, and Hit Editor is saying like, also think about how like some people look at your manga on such a small screen as well. Oh, everything was going well, but then Hitmaker checked his storyboard. Oh no. Oh no. He's like, this isn't good. This isn't interesting. I'm not sure which character to follow. He said, the story was good up to here. Let's fix it. Mr. Negative's like, oh, hold on a minute. Wait, I gotta fix it? But the Hitmaker is like, no, you gotta fix it. It'll be more interesting. 4 days before the deadline, Hitmaker's like, Mr. Negative, you gotta redraw 32 pages of your 50 pages. Over half his pages. Hitmaker's like, please redraw 30 pages. Over 30 pages. 3 days later, a day before the deadline, the staff went to go check on Mr. Negative. Oh no, look at the mess his room is. Oh no, the female editor, female artist team have a problem too. Oh no! You know how her theme is Magical Girls? The youngest artist right there? He's also doing Magical Girls battle theme. Same idea! Yeah. They're saying that even though they were ranked in the top for the last challenge, they're all bad at doing battle manga. And they're talking how the female artist, female editor team, doing Magical Girls, and the youngest artist is also doing Magical Girls. They're going to get compared to each other no matter what. Yeah, Mr. Negative had to redraw over half of his stuff 4 days before stuff. What? Fetish Cat drew over 300 pages for this challenge. Like, she had to redraw, like, up to 300 pages of, like, different stuff, ideas she drew.
That's crazy.
Oh, I guess the female editor brought the female artist stuff. Snacks and stuff. And what she loved the most was fruit sandwiches, which is basically whipped cream, fruit in between bread. They're very popular in Japan as, like, a dessert sandwich. I know that's a weird concept for the West, but we got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You got sweet sandwiches.
Bread makes you fat?
Oh no! Preview for the next episode by this comedian. 1 sentence preview. Next time, the writer-artist duo will cry. Oh man, they're all negative. Having a hard time. Ooh. I cried? Which team will get first? A shocking conclusion and result next week on Million Tag. Oh man.
That's it.
How do you guys feel about this setup that they have, where they focus on half the top team first, and then like the bottom team, like kind of making an underdog story right before the results, to see like which of the three pairs that placed in the lower half will be able to like make a comeback.
Well, I found it. Oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
I was just saying, I found it pretty interesting how it goes with like we're getting the team that placed first, and then seeing like just because they placed once doesn't mean that they're necessarily good with the next thing. It's been
They were all
interesting that way.
struggling. They were
For
all
sure,
bad at
right?
bad at manga.
Yeah. And then I guess it kind of does when you have the people that didn't place. Kind of like with the last one we did, we were kind of like, at least me, I was like kind of rooting for people that didn't place to kind of be like, okay, well they've been struggling, it's been not so great, and now it's like you're kind of hoping for them more as it goes as we do build towards the results of that episode.
It said the preview was like the writer artist duo will cry.
Yeah,
Are they gonna cry for joy because they place? Are they gonna
I hope
cry
so.
because they don't place? What's gonna happen to the award-winning manga artist? Man, she doesn't place
She was
again.
taking it rough before. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll say this. If they're fucking making drama out of the fucking special attacks names, I'm pretty confident they're not creating drama, because if they were creating drama, they would have found way better drama. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
That's like the best they got. The best they got was like, hey, they had this minor disagreement about like whether the character should yell out their special attacks.
Yeah.
And then they spun 10 minutes out of like, oh my god, human beings, they can't.
Not just that, but the fact that they had to use it for like the last week's like preview thing too is just like, they got nothing for this one.
Yeah. So I think we will confidently say that they're not like juicing like there's no fake arguments, at least.
Right. Yeah, but it's still very entertaining, million tags, so.
For sure.
Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed our commentary and my live translation. Sorry if I got things wrong, because I probably did. But we will see you for the next episode. Bye!